The following is for entertainment purposes only. We are not financial advisors. We are not responsible for any losses, only the profits.
We're in Octo Nation. Today we're looking at more battery plays leading up to that Tesla battery day. We're going to get any more runs till then, hopefully the good kind. Let's take a look at a company called WWR WestWater Resources. This is a company that has been hyped by a couple different groups of folks. It's had some decent runs, but we're sitting in a nice kind of tight channel now. It broke out of it about a month or two ago for a super provable run that I think we should be able to hit again. I think if Elon mentions anything graphite, this thing can run. Okay, we've got a American graphite plant here, and we're gonna dive in. I'm gonna try to keep as fast as possible, try to focus on the stuff that might make us some money and knowledge that we should keep in the back of our head. So let's dive on in. So WestWater Resources Inc., which is WWR, the ticker if you're in America, an energy and materials development company, today announced that the committing of the graphite pilot program, WestWater's Coos project in Alabama, is expected to be the first U.S. domestic producer and processor of battery graphite materials. With the assistance of our technology partners, including Dofner and Supplier, a pilot plan will be designed and constructed in September to October of 2020. This is news that just came out. And is on track to operate later this year, with the intention of making material available to our potential customers in quantities and of quality suitable for testing and qualification. Successful completion of the pilot plant program and customer qualification of graphite products from the plant will position WestWater to begin a feasibility study that designs a commercial scale plant anticipated to be complete mid-year 2021. So they're ramping up, they're getting ready to rock. Good time to get in. The commercial plant is expected to be commissioned in late 2022, producing this critical component for today's high-performance battery applications. We have made graphite samples available to a number of potential customers for testing. So they're sending it out to folks. And these tests have been successful. We believe our graphite materials can garner a significant global share as we move forward. Kind of cool. So let's dive on in. So they have got a super low float. We're talking like 7.6 million shares. So, this thing, like I said, if there is a graphite mention, I believe he's going to be looking for more graphite material. This thing could easily 2x. Share price when this was made was at $239. I think it's way below that now. We'll take a look later. Fully diluted though, there's not much, right? They barely even have any debt too, which is kind of cool. They got 0.3 million. There are some sketchy stuff going on. I'll get to that at the bottom, but they've got 42,000 mineral right acres in Alabama. 42,000 acres. That's a lot. How big is an acre? It's about the size of a football field, not including the goals. Yeah. The touchdown areas, the dance areas, not including the dance floor. Now with vanadium discovery. It's the only battery-grade graphite mining project in the continental United States. U.S. has no current production of natural graphite. It's 100% imported. Again, this is one of those things where the world is looking like we got to get away from China. We've also got a lithium project in Columbus Basin, Nevada, which I like. 14,000 acres there. Another project in Saurika, Utah, 13,000 acres there. They have a couple of uranium projects, but this is what I was going to get to later, but they're like kind of selling them, but then they're also going to take a little royalty on them, but then they kind of owe some money on them. It's a super confusing deal, but let's just pretend like they don't have the uranium. Vanadium, independent lab results demonstrated widespread distribution of vanadium mineralization throughout the central portion of the Coosa project. It's all about that Bama, baby. Anyone out there in Alabama watching my videos? Be awesome. Batteries and their role in clean energy. We know about this, right? I'm not going to get into it. We know that, lithium, if you watch my channel, we know that, electric lithium batteries are needed. We know why, right? Electric cars, power tools, energy grid stuff, all that. Graphite is a major component of all batteries, though. Graphite is a critical component of all types of batteries, including lead acid, so the old school ones that are in 99% of cars right now, big heavy ones, alkaline power cells, and non-rechargeable lithium cells. coated purified spherical graphite is a critical component in lithium-ion batteries. The US government has defined graphite as a critical to the nation's security and prosperity, which it is. They totally need it. It's used in a lot of aviation stuff too, like planes and radar, all that type of stuff. The Coosa Graphite project provides key advantages. It's the only near-term source of domestic US natural graphite. The pilot plant is designed, work underway, customer qualifications underway, a recent 1-ton bulk sample order announced. So another one came back and they're ordering a bulk ton sample. A ton is a ton. I think it's like, 2,000 pounds, something like that? It's a lot. WestWater's graphite will be produced using environmentally sustainable process in the United States. Elon Musk has come out many times and said that, any place is going to source things from, he wants to make sure it's sustainable, right? It's good for the environment. They're not, I was saying a lot in Asia and all that, they're like actually dumping a lot of the minerals into the water. It could just be a story, but it could be true too. I don't know, I haven't investigated too much, but that's what some of these guys are pitching. WestWater's graphite products serve all battery markets. WestWater's vanadium discovery in Coosa can be an enhancement to the project's already great economics. It's the most advanced battery grade project. It just shows some of the brands in here. It's showing, the Tesla logo, the GM logo, the Exide. I mean, even the whole GM and Nikola play, GM's coming out with like an electric Hummer truck. How crazy is that? But even that, if they announce they're getting their stuff from these guys, that's huge. LG, Energizer, Nissan, Johnson, battery grade products. They have their own branded versions of refined graphite too. They've got one called Ultra PMG, trademark, purified micronized graphite, conductivity enhancer for all types of batteries. Largest market is lead acid batteries, so the big old school batteries. Then they've got Ultra DEX-DG, delaminated expanded graphite, improves electrical connectivity in batteries, targets markets in lithium ion, lead acid, and alkaline power cells. And then they've got Ultra CSPG, coated spherical purified graphite, high performance anode material for lithium ion batteries. Target market is rapidly growing electronic automobile sector. R&D project underway with R&D project underway with an automobile manufacturer. See, I didn't even see that before. That's huge. So that means they're working with the automobile manufacturer, but they haven't tied the brand to it yet. And once that brand does finally get tied to it, this thing's gonna moon. That's great. That's fantastic. So Panasonic is investing 1/10 of $1 billion on Tesla batteries. Tesla factory is right next to these guys. Tesla batteries are almost 200 pounds of graphite. So a Tesla regular car coming around, they've got 200 pounds alone in graphite in it. Tells you something, right? That's a lot. That means Tesla needs a lot of graphite. So here's the weird and the bad. So WestWater Resources disposes its North American uranium business. This is super complicated, so try to bear with me here. Compensation as part of the deal expected to be $1.95 million in in-core shares. So they're selling to another company. And royalties from future production from the New Mexico properties. So it sounds like they're getting paid in shares and royalties on anything that they pull out of it. So WestWater to save over $4 million per year in land payments, reclamation expenses, and operating costs associated with the uranium process. So it's going to save them a couple years. They're basically saying, okay, we had the uranium's cool, but it's sucking us dry. We want to focus on the graphite, which can be looked at as definitely a good thing because you want to go towards the flow, where the fish are going, right? But then you sometimes need to cut stuff that you have that's just dead weight, right? So they'd rather sell it to someone else, take a little royalty on it, and move on. The transaction expected to close on or before December 31st of this year. So this is another PR that came out. Incore Energy signs binding agreement to acquire WestWater's resource uranium production and resource assets. So this is like an eventual takeover thing. These assets include 2 licensed Texas-based uranium production facilities, mineral exploration leases in Texas, and more than 270 square miles, 180,000 acres of patented mineral rights in New Mexico, with 4 projects containing significant historical mineral estimates. This gets kind of complicated. Change in coming uranium market in the next 12 to 24 months. It is not a coincidence that modern commercial in recovery operations originated in South Texas, adds the Energy CEO, Dennis Stover. While active exploration in the district has long been curated by market conditions, South Texas remains underexplored and one of the most prospective in the country for further uranium discoveries. They're saying there's room to grow on it. We're excited. Here's some of the terms and conditions. So there's 1.5, let's just call it million dollars in shares at a price of the share to be determined on the closing date of the transaction. So we don't even know what the cost of the share is. That's fine. I'm sure it'll be kind of in line where it's at. The grant of 2% net smelter royalty on mineral rights held by the subsidiaries in the state of New Mexico, excluding the Juan Tafroya and Celabote projects, and the grant of 2.5% net profits interest on the Juan Tafoya and Celabote projects. In addition, the company and WestWater will work to reduce and replace existing reclamation bonds on the WestWater's uranium projects, totaling up approximately $9.25 million. So sounds like they kind of still owe some money. So they're gonna like try to figure out how to get that paid back, basically. Upon replacement of the reclamation bonds, WestWater will pay Encore $3 million in cash. The amount of the reclamation bonds may be reduced by WestWater's prior to closing through the completion of the reclamation work, in which event the company will issue additional consideration shares priced at a closing date of $500,000 in the company's shares upon WestWater completing the transaction, for every $250,000 in company shares for every $1 million in reduction of the current required bond. So they're just making a deal to get out. They're just making, sometimes you got to make a confusing deal to make it work on both sides. This one seems like it's fine, right? Like they're in a little bit of debt, bond debt with this, and the people are going to take it over. They're going to take a royalty. They're going to give them some here, some there, some shares, just back and forth, whatever. I mean, it is what it is. You guys know more about this deal. Just kind of threw it out the window after I looked at it a little bit. That's it for these guys. So what do I think about this one? I think they're kind of cool. It's definitely a little bit maybe on like the sketchier side of things because they haven't completely started the mining. The good thing is they're almost starting the mining yet. They also don't have a brand tied to it yet. So you just got to keep all that in mind. But, the price reflects that in the stock. Let's take a look at it. So we are currently sitting at $1.85 a share. Remember, there's a super low float of 8.3 million, which is super low, right? So, just a couple months ago, August, September, so actually like less than a month ago, this thing had a big pop all the way up to $3.13. That is huge. And again, I think this was just kind of a run, people talking about graphite. I don't think that this was actually anything branded laid with them or anything like that. It was just kind of someone kind of mentioned graphite and this kind of went up. So again, once we get something like that, this thing could go totally crazy. So should you back up the truck on this and dump all your money into it? I don't think so. I don't think so at all. I would look at this as one of those lottery ticket plays. You got a better chance of winning at this than a lottery ticket, I'm sure. But just be careful. We definitely do have this huge bull flag, let's call it, coming down. If you want to put in a buy order, be safe above it. To get out of the channel, you're going to be closer to $2. To start riding it up and try to catch something parabolic. I'm not in stocks right now to try to make 2 or 1% or whatever. I care about multiplying. I hope y'all do too. That's why we're here, right? So just gauge this one. We got some more coming out here soon. So just wait till you jump into something until you hear the next one we're going to be doing. But I'm going to cut this one for now. If y'all have any other plays, any more battery plays I still need to talk about, please put it down in the comments. And please share this video with your friends. It's greatly appreciated. If you haven't subscribed, please do it. Take care.
Did you know that we give away free silver? Simply leave a comment on the video, and as long as you're in the continental United States, you can be automatically entered to win. Please friend us on Twitter and StockTwits.